right now. Any minute. We are hot. Hot? Live? Live and hot?
Hey, why not? Why not? Hello, world. Hello, universe.
Yeah, we're here.
So, guys, that's where babies come from. Who would have thought it? Anyway,
I know. We just dropped the graphics.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could pull it back up. Nope. Okay. There we go.
That's the only thing you put in. Anyway,
yeah,
right. So,
exactly. We're starting off real early. This pre-show thing might be dangerous.
Could be the
so
end of
you
all
need
things.
the music to get us into the censor mode, which that really doesn't help much either. So,
yeah. So is it hot there?
Very.
Is this what I've heard? Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah,
and same in Texas,
here.
John.
Actually, for us, it's hot, but it's not as hot as it should be.
It's probably the same temperature in both places, and they consider it cool, and I'm over here like,
it's 93.
You can only get so naked.
I think 93 today, which is, it's
that
warm.
Celsius?
Yeah.
That's 33, 32, 33.
Probably. Yeah, roughly.
Something
based
like
off
I think
last
40
week's
is
math,
like 100, right? 40.
No, 35. No, it was 37 or
46,
35. I said it last week. It's 30 because they had it. We hit 100 here, and the bank had it, and I thought it was going 100, and I think it was 35. Listen to last week's show. I said it then because I had just seen it.
Doesn't mean you were right. Just because you said it.
Right.
I had literally just seen it. Whatever I saw, it's like it said it at the bank, so the bank was
40
wrong.
is 104.
There you go. So that's not 100.
Are we saying it's Fahrenheit, not Fahrenheit? Come on, guys.
Yeah, whatever I said last week, I'm sure is what 100 is. It's like
what he said.
38.
Exactly. And that's the show, everybody. Thank you very much.
So what was
what he said?
There we go.
That's it. Yeah. Are we gone? Are we done?
I don't know why I was just singing the Tonight Show music. Johnny Carson comes rolling out.
So if 104 is 40, what is 30? Whatever is 93 then? Did we look at that?
93.
I'll tell you, all these high temperatures, you know what it's time for? It's time to stay indoors and watch Brightside Home Theater live. Huh?
Well, obviously.
There you go.
Obviously. Makes sense. Although we're not having air conditioning
34.
in most of the houses here. 34. Okay, so we had 32 here yesterday.
Okay.
And bearing in mind, our houses no air conditioning, built to trap the heat, not dissipate it. Right. And so you can imagine how fun that was. It's not been quite as hot today, but it's still warm. Hence the little desk fan that's going, and hopefully no one can hear, because otherwise I'm just going to melt.
Yeah, it's gross here.
I did see parts of Europe were in like 47 to 48. Which
it's sort of Turkey way.
I looked it up, and that's like 119 degrees, which is
insane. But that's ludicrously hot for Europe. I mean, Spain's got 40
Spain
plus.
And Sicily, Greece are all in that.
Turkey have got wildfires. They'll get them in Spain and southern Spain before long as well. We always do when it happens like that. I mean, I've been in Spain in August. I think I've told you before, where it's so hot the tarmac is melting, and literally cars are leaving tracks in the roads because it's so warm. And that's where they're headed again this year. If this carries on. But very, very warm. But we were on the fringes of it, luckily, because we just could not cope with that. I mean, the country would grind to a standstill if we ever got above, say, 36, 37. That'd just be it.
We're stealing our and Braden's thunder here, the HT guys. They always open with a nice weather report.
Yeah, I was going to say, and this was bright side weather. I mean, I don't think anybody's I think 48 will bring anybody to a standstill. Like Sicily and Greece, they're not ready for that either.
True.
Nobody wants it.
Those houses with no AC and fans.
Did I read in Italy? There's been a couple of deaths in Italy as well from it too. People just collapsing. Just on building sites and stuff.
Probably,
crazy. But
I know they had wildfires last year in central Italy, and I'm sure they will again this year. So,
oh man, very, very warm. But never mind, like you say, indoors, fan on. That's Brightside Home Theater. Look on the bright side. This is the way to be. And in fairness, if I may bring it to a home theater point, the cinema room this week has been my refuge of coolness.
Oh yeah.
Because of course, no windows, dark.
dark.
It is beautifully and cool in there. So go in there with a little fan, put the little fan on the side of the thing as well, and it just circulates the cool air. And actually, it's been a very welcome respite from it this week, I have to say.
Nice.
It's been lovely. So yes, I've seen a couple of films that may well have benefited from the niceness of the surroundings. One in particular, by the way, which I'm looking forward to talking about later, which was a genuine surprise. I was very pleasantly surprised by this film. Awesome. Which we will hopefully get to later. But yeah, anyway, so there it is. Do you want, should we do our music thing, Deej? We've been talking about this music thing for weeks. The question that everyone knows is coming. Should we do that pre-opening?
No, let's do it on the other side. You ready? We know what. Yeah, let's do it on the other side. We'll put that into the show proper if you want. But it's like, what else? We know we got the big one. Have all three of us seen the big one? John, did you venture out to the movie theater this week?
I did not. No.
Oh, okay. So only two of us have seen the big one. I guess it's not so big then.
It's mid.
Okey-dokey.
Yeah, they've greenlit the sequel already, so I think they are going for it.
Beep, beep, beep. There you go. Green.
Literally, yes. Indeed.
Yeah, we have that.
I know someone who has notes.
What?
Well, my best friend, his son, who's a teenager who races go-karts and does it, and so he's a massive fan of this particular sport, and he was unamused. So he's spotted issues apparently.
Well, it's a movie.
I'm not one to talk. Remember,
do you know how many people came out when Maverick came out and all the pilots, and like half of them were like, "That's ridiculous. You could never do that," and the other half were like, "Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's called a movie. No kidding. Yeah, it's ridiculous."
Yeah, all the pilots were like, "That's ridiculous. There was no in-flight meal. Like cabin crew, ridiculous."
Yeah, where were the stewardesses?
Yeah. Hey, cabin crew, we got to call them now. Flight attendants.
Okay. Well,
get us into trouble, Deej. We'll get cancelled, and we haven't even got to the
exactly.
Opening yet.
That would be us making it to actually get canceled. Be like, we've arrived, and we're gone,
and we're gone. We've arrived because we've gone. Yeah. So. But yeah, we got some great stuff to go through tonight.
All right. Then we have the other one too. I forgot we had that. Jeez, look at all these. All right. Let's, we got to get to the other side because we have the one we ended the show with last week. I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to you about that one. I actually have one that you don't even know about. I out in the wild. This is weeks ago. I saw this out in the wild. I saw something so rare in these parts that I didn't even think it still existed. This is like the unicorn, guys. It's a home theater unicorn.
Ooh, okay.
Is that a tease?
I'm intrigued.
Is that a tease?
Yes, a bit,
All right.
I'm intrigued. Yes, obviously it was
Bigfoot. It is not going to pay off the way you think it is. Trust me. So tune in for the low payoff. I'm promising you right now, it's not that big a deal, but it is something that I didn't think existed anymore, and I saw it, and It's a weird one. So, all right.
Okay.
You ready to get to the show proper?
Let's do this.
All right. That's right.
What he said.
We are Brightside Theater.
Hey, home theater nerds, welcome to the Bright Side Home Theater Podcast. The Home Theater Podcast, it's all about the experiences, the sights,
the sounds,
the scenes.
On time and everything, John.
Yeah.
I mean, you only one time.
That's all it takes.
It haunts you.
Yeah, it does. It's like, we'll try to let it go.
Almost like I didn't do it on purpose or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think the second one was the one that was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that one caught me a little bit.
Yeah. The second time, you're like, all right, we're doing it again. Back at it again.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Yeah. Do you the big tease? You want me to pay it off right now?
Go on, do so. Pay that tease.
All right. Let me see. Here's the image. I'll pull this image up. This is something I could not believe this. It's so I was at my brother's show. He's screen one. That's not screen one, but okay. And they had the hockey game on in the background. Multiple TVs at this bar playing in the background. And yeah, let's pull this up to the stage. That is a 16:9 screen showing the hockey game with black bars at the top and the bottom. And you looked at the other screens and like the rink is stretched out. You can see those ovals on that screen right there. They're like, those are ovals. They're supposed to be circles. You know, everything was all stretched. And I was like, this is probably, I don't know, 55-inch TV on the back wall. And it had black bars at the top and the bottom. I didn't even think this was possible anymore. I was like, I had to grab a picture of it. I was like, how do you do that? It made me like, I wanted to go over and adjust it and fix it. And I was like, when was the last time you guys saw this?
Yeah, very, very rare.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've seen poorly calibrated screens all the time. Yeah. And whenever I go into a bar and see them, I'm like, let me at them. And in hotels as well. You know, when you go into a hotel room or, you're staying somewhere, it's like, I've got to fix that. And it's the first thing I very often do.
Yeah, poorly calibrated, I can understand. Vivid mode, I understand. I get that. It's like, but it doesn't even look right. Like anybody looking at it with the other TVs, like why nobody's asked why this isn't filling the screen? Like, why do we get bars?
They don't know.
Honestly, I wanted to correct it. I'm not even sure I'd know where to go. I've forgotten all that stuff. Like, how do you get it? Where do you go? Like, why is it in stretch mode? Or what did they put it in? That I've forgotten that. Like on a television, why you would even do that? It should just be like plug and play. Like, how long has this TV been sitting like this since like 2005?
Well, tell me this: does it say Sony Trinitron on the front?
No. What is TV? Okay. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what TV it is. But yeah.
I mean, do you remember in the old days when they first released the CRT widescreen TVs, on every remote you had the little aspect ratio button. You know, you could just click it to cycle through them, and you got wide and you got 4:3 and and all that. But they don't have those anymore. You don't have those buttons now because they should auto change, which means someone's gone into the settings on this. Or the TV's busted, but someone's gone into the settings on it and has literally selected that screen like that.
Right.
Because otherwise it would auto change. So, yeah.
Correct.
Steve Att says, too drunk to care. Could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, no.
Maybe it looks all right after you've had like 12 pints.
Yeah, maybe.
You like that?
It's like, yeah. So, but yeah, I saw that that was weeks ago. I saw that and I was like, holy crap. I couldn't believe it.
That is
couldn't believe that exists. Yeah. And then one more I can show you right now. Here we go. There we go. Greg sent me that last week. That was his fortune cookie.
Oh, fair play.
He said it to me. He goes, look at this. Things are looking on the bright side for you. There you go. See, our podcast is being promoted through fortune cookies now. So
the word is spreading.
Exactly. All the way to Asia. Can't get better than that because that's where those are from, right?
Oh, I suspect not. Yeah. Dare say out the back of wherever it was he bought that.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's get to your question.
All right. So, okay. Now, I did trail this about 3-4 weeks ago, I think, when it occurred to me live. But I've been meaning to ask this for ages. But there are certain rules here, fellas. Okay. Rules. It's all that separates us from the animals. Right. So rules. You can't have Star Wars because we'd all say that. And by that, I mean the fanfare, the Star Wars fanfare, they call it. All right. So you can't have that because we'd all choose that. So, okay. Your favorite, that's not to say necessarily best, but your favorite piece of movie music. What of all time? Okay. Living or dead. Just kidding. All right. Favorite piece of movie music of all time. And do you know what? I think it's actually a hard question because I think it's not, because as you think of one, you think of 20 others.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And as you go down that rabbit hole, it's forever will it dominate your destiny. So what are we thinking?
Whenever these are, I already know my answer, because whenever these are asked, it's like, what's the first thing that pops in your head? And maybe not necessarily if once we start naming, it'll be like, yeah, that's the one or something to your point.
Yeah.
But I kind of got to go with what just pops in my head first. And of course, like you said, with Star Wars being off the table, that would have been it. But once you say that, it's Terminator. And
which is Brad Friedel.
Yeah. I mean,
Brad Friedel? I can't remember. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, you do, I've done that, like just you whispering it to you, you're doing something, working, anything. You could be, all the other ones, I mean, like but I won't say anymore, but John.
Superman.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. See,
I mean, it's a great choice, isn't it? You said the Raiders March, didn't you?
I did. I knew this question was coming, and again, many come to mind. But I think Superman main theme.
Steve,
now, do you remember though? Because the people swore blind, didn't they, when it came out? That when it goes, da 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 da, and that it says Superman, which of course it doesn't.
Right.
But so many people would have sworn.
Oh yeah,
that it says Superman, even though of course it doesn't.
Right.
I mean, that's a fantastic piece of music. John Williams again, though.
Yep. Yeah. Now, if you take Star Wars and John Williams off the table. Then it becomes a little bit. Then maybe Gladiator. It's probably Gladiator.
Oh, what? Now we are free. Because of course, Gladiator, you've got the battle, and then you've got the Now We Are Free as the end piece over the kind of the credits. I mean, not frankly, I just say all of Gladiator.
Yeah. Well, I was to say I wasn't singling part of it out, but
can I just say, because I love that music, right? And I just want to say, I had a cool experience with Now We Are Free. That the battle. So that that one, that one. When I walked out of Universal Studios in Florida back in 2001. The last day when I walked out, that piece of music was playing as I walked through the gates on the way out.
Oh, really?
And I'm just like, oh, dude, that was so cool.
Queued it up just for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. So now whenever I think of that music, I always think of Universal walking out the gates. It was very cool. And of course, it was a week after September 11th. So there was no one there. It was quite eerie, but also, a cool piece of music. Okay. Now mine, see, I've got to go John. I'll tell you what, we'll go one John Williams and one something else. So Deej, have a think of your other John Williams then. All right. Because you had your non-John Williams. Think of a John Williams. All right. Because that shouldn't take you long. While you're doing that, I'll think of it. So my John Williams is Jurassic Park. I mean, I absolutely love the Jurassic Park theme. I love how that starts. I love how that builds. That's awesome. And that's, what I think of as my best one. But other than that, and then to go with something different, and I sound like a right idiot when I say this. I like the Forrest Gump theme as well. I love that. Or John Dunbar's theme from Dances with Wolves. I'll have that as well. Once I start, I just keep going. But I love the Forrest Gump music. That music's beautiful and sets the scene so well for what's to come.
Yeah.
See, there's few that I would pick out no matter where I was, and that's why I was going to say like Jurassic Park would be no matter where you are, you could hear that. It's kind of like hearing your parents' voice as a kid. It's like, like you could be in a crowd and everybody's shouting and your parents go, just say something and you're attuned to that, right? So you could be anywhere, people could be shouting and you'll hear that score playing, like Jurassic Park, and you're like, what? Huh? What the movie's playing. There's something like, and you'll look, or Star Wars, or like I said, or Terminator. That to me is like the sign of that. Where it's just so recognizable, especially to you. Like it's just those notes. You could hear like two notes from it and be like, I know, that's it. I know what it is. I know what's hitting. Just like going through like the Hans Zimmer disc, right? And going through all of those movies. As soon as the notes are played, you're like, that's what makes that disc so cool too, is you're seeing the artist play it. you know, and you're like, oh my God, it's like that's like the Dark Knight one, and you're like the I didn't know that's how they made that that sound. I was gonna say noise, but it's that made that sound, and it's the and you're like, oh my God, and it's a long drawn out, but they're playing it back and forth on the violin or whatever. But
very cool. So what's your John Williams? If I had Jurassic Park, if you've got to go for something else, what's your John Williams?
I can't have that one. No, that would be it.
No stealing.
No, it's not stealing.
Schindler's List, Jaws.
I say Jaws.
I mean, if you want 2 notes that everybody knows what it is, right, done. Okay, that's Jaws.
Yeah, but that's like as my favorite. Like I kind of steer away from that because I love to swim. So like when I'm in the water, I don't want to I seriously, I love swimming in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
And long swims in the ocean. So when I'm swimming in the ocean, I'm doing just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I mean, just like he did in the movie, which is from what? That's Dory, right? Or whatever it said that.
Finding Nemo's first.
Finding Nemo, but
she does it in the next one as well.
Yeah. But yeah, she's the one that says it. But yeah, that's what I'm literally. That's what I'm saying. Just keep swimming. You're not going. Dun it.
And yet, I'll tell you, anytime I've done diving or snorkeling or anything like that, and I'm, getting down there, the one thing I hear, I mean, I can't stop myself. It's hardwired. I mean,
right.
And you just think, well, they're friends, not food. It's fine.
Friends, not food.
We're also going to quote.
Well, here's the trick, though, Steve. So if you do hear that play, and from any good horror movie, once all the sound goes away, that's when the shark shows up. So just keep singing it. Just keep singing it. Darn it. It's coming. Because it's when it goes dead silent. That's when you're. Uh-oh.
Now we got to worry. You're
scoring your own life.
So what are you going for with your John Williams then? So we've got because John, we've got Gladiator and we've got Superman. So with me, you got Jurassic Park and then Forrest Gump. I'll go with, although there's so many. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Terminator, and then,
like I said, I have to go Jurassic Park because they really don't compare. And nothing. I mean, I don't get into all of the other ones in the same way, like Jaws, like you said, or anything like that. It's just like those notes. And like I said, when I was just recently watching Jurassic Park again, you hear there's different times in the movie you hear it faintly in the background.
There's different arrangements of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like they did in Fall Guy with the Kiss song, "I Was Made for Loving You." That song, and the way they played that in the background is so many different versions. In the what was it, Youngblood or something? The new singer that did a version. It's just, but even that they're playing in the background all the way through that movie. That was fun. But my question though, does the music make the movie, or does the movie make the music? Because this is what I was going to ask. I said I had an addition to this, because you think of like John Williams. Did he make Star Wars? Right? Did he make Jaws? Does he make all of these? Does he make Jurassic Park? Does he make all of these movies that you're like, no, I would say no. I think the movie makes the art. I mean, he has to be good.
Yeah. If you want,
but the movie isn't the movie without that score.
Yeah. Well, you can test it,
right? But the score doesn't exist without the movie.
Well, yeah, right. It's the chicken and the egg, right? Like,
right. You have to have a good movie. He can't. You don't like have John Williams scoring Dumb and Dumber, and we're all like, hey.
Yeah. That's like asking like who's more important, the writer or the director, or it's like a coexist. Like they make a whole. Right. You can't.
You can test it though, guys. Watch the opening of Jaws, the opening 5 minutes with the sound off, and then watch it with the sound on. And you tell me, or the music. There, one of the Blu-rays. Sorry, I was clicking my finger. Sorry, in the mic. Mm-hmm. One of the Blu-rays has the score isolated. So watch the first 5 minutes with no score, and then watch it with the score, and tell me that Jaws is not made by that music.
Right?
It's got to be, hasn't it?
No. Because here's the flaw in your test. You already know. You already know. And of course, the music is going to enhance it anyways. But would something lesser have changed the movie? Would Star Wars not be what it is today if it was? I'm not saying no score. You're going completely no score. Could Hans Zimmer have done something slightly different to Star Wars? And now we'd be looking at that. It's like, you know what I mean? Like the movie, like think of all the movies we're listing here. Like you said, like the Schindler's List and all. You're pairing great conductors, writers, right, with great, producer directors. That Lucas wrote some great stuff and directed a great piece of art that was enhanced by another great artist. So that's why you asked the question, like, are all of these, not a single one of these are we like, well, the movie sucked, but the music was awesome, right? Not a single one.
Yeah.
So it's like, and vice versa. So it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, without that music, do we think the same of the movie? You can't eliminate the music entirely because there would have been somebody else in that place. Now, would that person's career have been enhanced by scoring Star Wars?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, there's another test we could do. What we'll do is we'll run the opening of Superman, but we'll play the Benny Hill music instead.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
Oh, that's a good test. Yeah.
Done. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Again, but you could take that to so many different levels of any movie too, though.
Yeah.
Like, do you give the script to a different director? Like, what would happen if you took the script to Justice League and gave it to Joss Whedon? Like, would that be a good movie? Or
that we do know. Yeah. I mean,
does Michael Bay make Empire Strikes Back? It's like,
right.
So if you change anything, then the movie's not the same, whether it's writer, director, artist.
Right.
So pulling one piece out and saying, does one make the other? I don't know if that.
But one thing I do know.
A fair question or fair guess, really,
But one thing I do know, nobody ever writes a score and says, I got a movie. Can somebody put a movie to this?
True.
They make the movie and then they pick who they like. Spielberg's like, I need John Williams to do this. Or Lucas is like, I need John Williams to do this. Right. And then they come in and they watch the movie. Now they take that piece of art and then they enhance it with their stuff. You don't write a score and then have somebody go, all right, now I'm going to put a movie to that. So it's like, the case?
I say there probably is a case, at least one, right?
There is one, as with every exception to the rule. No. Tarantino. Now he will have the music in mind and will write to the music. And he's talking about background, isn't he? Talking about what he did with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he had the background, like radio music and stuff in the background. Well, he did with Pulp Fiction and with Reservoir Dogs. He was, well, perhaps not Reservoir Dogs, because that was his first one, but he was writing a story to the music that he had in his mind, and that's the music that he then puts into them. So he may be the exception, and I'm sure I've read somewhere that he does that. But that's the exception. That's not the rule by any means.
Right. But that's like saying you're writing for a particular actor as well. You'll write a role and have that actor in mind, and you hope you get that actor, right? So, I mean, which is it? Is it the writing or is it the actor portraying it? Same thing, right? But this is where it's like, I think it's just a great debate. It's like, how is that? Because it's like if say Spielberg had somebody else other than John Williams, I think we're sitting here, not Spielberg, I'm sorry, Lucas. I think we're sitting here talking about, that person, like John Doe would be that person that we're talking about here, about like the Star Wars theme, unless it completely flopped, in which case it's like, I think maybe it could ruin the movie if they're horrible at it, but then isn't that up to Lucas, Spielberg, or whoever? Be like, no, that doesn't cut it. Right?
But you can only say that so many times before you've then got to either find someone else,
exactly,
or what so many I think do. People talk about films escape; they're never released, and this idea that or it just gets away from you, and you go, that'll do. That's just going to have to do.
Right.
I mean, I would say in the case of John Williams and Hans Zimmer and others, of course, and Brad Friedel with Terminator, it is this perfect marriage, lightning in a bottle, if you will, between movie maker and composer, and these two make the complete whole. And so I think, like you say, John, you're right. Chicken egg. You can't. They're indivisible. You can't have love and marriage. You can't have one without the other. Don't answer that.
As a guy who's been married 3 times, Steve,
I didn't want to go there, but I as I said it, I thought, you know what? But yes, but Frank Sinatra's never wrong. So
he did it his way.
Oh, there you go. That's it. There we go. So yeah, but it's a fascinating question, and again for us as home theater fans, so we can listen to this music in incredible environments, so we can live the music. I mean, Jurassic Park's a perfect example, because when that kicks in, the whole room is alive. You feel that the music brings to life everything that you're about to see.
Right.
And so we're lucky like that. This is why I think for us in particular, it's a valid thing to talk about, because we experience it in a very unique way, and hopefully closer to how John Williams, when he wrote it, and Spielberg, when he put it in the movie, wanted us to. So that, like I said, so that's what bringing it back to home theater.
Yeah. There was one piece of music I wanted to get as a sounder, just because I think it is the quintessential, probably the most quintessential piece of music maybe ever created. Because what do you think of when you ask a question like this?
Star Wars?
Jeopardy. Right? Is that not like, whoever wrote that is, I don't know who wrote it, but that person that's probably the most famous piece of sound music, because anytime somebody asks a question and you start thinking, that's what goes off in your head.
It is in the US. It's not over here. We never had Jeopardy over here, or at least not the same sort of thing over here. But I still know the music.
See,
but
exactly.
Most people wouldn't have a clue if you said that. But I know what you mean.
Yeah. Could you put that in the form of a question?
Yeah,
sure.
I could. Yes. If I say hi to everyone in the chat, and then we can also get their answers as well, because I think there's quite a few good ones. I think Greg the Awesome Ninja said "Chitty Chitty Bang Bang." Greg, you're a legend, a legend in your own lunchtime. Right. Okay. So, all right. So Dom was in and then went out again. So there's no point saying bonsoir, Dom. He's gone off to the cinema, guys. Gone off, left us high and dry while he's gone off to see F1 and 28 Years Later. So he's going to have an interesting evening without us. So, I'm a Paul, Dom, just saying, when you do listen to this. So anyway, hi and bye, Dom, AC3 was in after that. Mikey's in. Hey, Mikey. Paul's in. Steve Att's in. Hey, guys. I'll come back to this when we get to the movie stuff. Van Gogh's in. Hey, buddy. Kenny, or Keni Cinema Experience is in. TSG's in. Hey, TSG. Marcus Beebe dropped in. Hey, Marcus. Rach is in. Hey, Rach. And I know I saw some others as well. Right. So then, okay. So now as I go through, as I say, Greg's in. What do we get here? Oh, Andrew Panner's in as well. Hey, Andrew, not seen you for a bit. Good to see you in. He did say the temperature dropped in Vegas to a lowly 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Wowzers. So
nice. Enjoy the cool period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we have then Jordan's in. Obviously, hey, Jordan. His favorite movie theme, Jaws. TV theme, Doctor Who. Takes me back. Bear in mind, I haven't watched it since the 70s, but it does take me back, that music. Every time I do hear that, it takes me back to being a little fella and Tom Baker.
TV theme. We did that one already, right?
Did we do TV theme?
I think we
did. Did we do that as no? I don't think we did. Or did we? We did the Cars.
Yeah, we did Cars.
We did do the TV theme, didn't we? Because we were talking about Airwolf and Knight Rider and
Chips, Dukes of Hazzard, Greatest American Hero.
Gotta love that. Don't start me off. I'll be here all night. Who told me? Right. Anyway. Right. So Paul says the full-length end credit score from Close Encounters. Full length. That must be like about 2 weeks long. Yeah. You could just keep watching it. TSG says Biggles. Do you want to be a hero?
The Biggles?
Biggles? What's that?
Yeah.
I know Biggles is a pilot thing, but I don't know. I've never heard of the film. Okay, well, fair enough. Rach says the theme tune from Cal Long Road Home. What's that?
Don't know.
Anyone? No. All right. Okay, not sure. Paul then says, if we're talking more iconic than the Assault on Precinct 13 theme, I'm assuming that's the original Carpenter one, which I would recognize if I heard it, but I couldn't put my finger on it now. Yeah. Eric Ridgely's in. Hey, Eric. He says Halloween. I mean, yeah. Apologies, horror community. Right. Yeah. I should have also chosen Halloween.
Right.
Jaws eating.
Well,
that's about the only thing that's not memorable of that film.
Right.
Well, that we got TSG saying to my question, what Carpenter, he does both music and the movie. So did he write the music and then said, I got a movie for this?
I need some dead babysitters, quick.
Right. I'm going to isolate that sound.
Yes.
We need some dead babysitters, quick.
Yeah.
Why?
So Van Gogh's in. Hey, Van Gogh. He says Forrest Gump is not John Williams. No, I know. I didn't suggest that was John Williams. I don't think. No. I know it's definitely not John Williams. Greg the Awesome Ninja says Beverly Hills Cop. That's the Axel Foley theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great piece of music.
That's 80s,
but I think of its time. Yeah, I was literally. Yeah, it kind of lives in the 80s. I don't think that doesn't carry on like so many others. I don't think.
Well, that's why I think the others are all timeless.
Yeah,
you don't think of the time period when you hear Star Wars or or Jurassic Park or even. And what's funny is timeless. Terminator, which is about time travel, but you don't think of that time period. You just think of it. It's just the music and the, and what that movie first seeing it is it's ominous. It's that means it'll never stop. That music is like that. It's it can just keep on going forever because that's the Terminator.
Terminator 1 or 2, Deej, because there's a real different arrangement.
Yeah, I would say one. It's the original.
Really?
Because
two hits harder though, doesn't it? When you get
it has a little. It's
like the flames.
Yeah, and then they have it's almost a little more peaceful. It feels
the first one.
No, the second one. The way it plays because you in the opening theme when they have the flames and and then it ends with that ding with the steel
truck. The truck closing.
Yeah, exactly. Is it sideways or this? I forget.
That way.
But
so it goes sideways. Yeah.
I felt like that music, just the way it flowed, it felt a little more hopeful, peaceful. Even though they were showing the flames, maybe that's my head after the fact, because that's what the movie's about. It's nothing's ever set. Whereas the first one, it's nope, this thing's coming for you no matter what. You're done and it's never quitting. So. Yeah.
Gosh, I think I prefer the second one. I like them. It's more orchestral as well, isn't it? Because the first one is quite thin. The second one's more epic, obviously, because of the thing. Yeah. Captain AC3 says Twilight Zone. Ooh, okay, okay. But that's from a TV show as well. I don't know if you can nick it from the movie.
They did make a movie. Sure.
Yeah. Beth says hi, made it. Hey Beth, how you doing? Lane Smith says just dropping by to say hi. And Revolu Sound. Nice memories of Sanctum in 3D. Great pick.
Did you see Andrew Pena's Purple Rain?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I skipped that. Yeah, quite. Yeah, I happen to know someone very close to me who that is their favorite song ever by
Purple
miles.
Rain.
Purple Rain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. I love the movie too. Love the song.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Purple Rain?
No.
Oh my God.
I've seen Normal Rain. It happens a lot over here, but Purple Rain never. I'm not much of a music person. I mean, movie music notwithstanding, Prince didn't really mean much to me, even when he was formerly known as Prince. Never kind of really did much for me, I have to say. But as I said, someone very close to me, it is hands down their favorite piece of music of all time. And when I'm feeling kind of, in the mood to cheer this person up, I pop that on, and then, all problems are sorted.
Was Prince ahead of his time? Isn't he the OG for identifying as? That's what his symbol was, right?
Yeah.
It was a combination of the two. Way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Oh yeah. All kinds of branding.
He's like Madonna, Cher, all these one name people. He's like, hold my beer. I got you. Paul. How long have you been tuning in? Paul says, have you seen 8 Mile? 8 Mile.
Purple Rain is the 80s version. Paul, I haven't just seen 8 Mile. I've reviewed it on the show. I haven't just reviewed it on the show.
I thought you lived it.
I wrapped it on the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, boys?
That is true.
I do.
Yeah.
Don't feel the need to go back and listen to it, Paul.
Yeah.
But I did.
Hit up the Google machine. And you'll find it.
At least it's the clean version. I never did the F-rated one, so that's good news. Or the R-rated one. So that was all right. Yeah, Todd, man. Todd dares you to do something, you do it. Don't you? As Deej knows only too well.
Yeah, I know. You got off easy.
Yeah, true.
Mine takes 25 hours every year.
Oh, God. Oh, no, Paul, don't feel you have to track that down, buddy. No, it's fine. It's all right. Revolu Sound says Mission Impossible theme. Okay, now
from the show.
Well, you see, I think this one is the first film, the 96 one, when that kicks in the tunnel, when you get the music build, so the theme builds, the music builds, and then it goes da 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 da, and then it goes dun 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 dun, and when that kicks in the helicopter, that is one of the best needle drops in cinema history. Yeah, I thought that was fantastic when that kicks in, and that's that's my favorite bit. All of the Mission Impossible music, that's my favorite one. I love when that kicks in.
Well, that's was it Limp Bizkit's version?
That was the second one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The second one, where you take that and put it into an actual song and you mix it in like that. And then that just takes that song to another level. It's like, fun. Lots of fun. All right. We're going to get to movies this week.
Well, I'm just certainly glad that Rach put 2 P's in there.
You drive this show,
been really awkward.
I know. I drive it off a cliff every week.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise. Thelma and Louise, right off the cliff.
So let's do this. Right. We've got loads to talk about. The problem is where to begin.
We do. What do you guys want to get to first? You want to lead off with what we ended with last week?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll hit that one. Let me see. I mean,
get the wraparound.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
45 minutes in between.
Yeah, exactly. What,
about a week?
So,
yeah, well, true.
Where did I?
A week and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I put one in there as well. There's a new one. I put one in as well. So if you're trying to find that one, it's blue.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it? Got it?
Yeah, I got them.
Cool.
We got them. I'll lead off with yours since I had mine last week.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, here we go. Nope, it doesn't come in black. Nope, there we go. All right. Okie
dokie then. Do you want to introduce it again, Dave? Do you want me to introduce it? What do you want to do?
Yeah. We're talking Lethal Weapon. The original, the OG from, what was it, 86? Is that what it was from?
87.
87? There we go.
Yep.
But just dropped both on physical and on Kaleidoscape, 4K, Dolby Vision, Atmos, and the director's cut, which we've never had in actually any real form, except for, like you said, the DVD had it.
Yeah,
the DVD had it a while ago, but that was, oops, that's not the one I wanted to do. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, it was, I mean, you heard me wax on about it like whatever last week. Why don't you start this week?
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep it relatively brief then, because we did touch on it last week. I mean, the movie's still great. I mean, I've long since lost track of how many times I've seen it. It's still great, even with all the little foibles and the mistakes. I mean, someone put up on Twitter again today, the picture of when they jump off the building and the cuff snaps and they hold hands as they go. But
you've always been able to see that. Yeah, you've always been able to see that. I felt, although this one, I felt like I could see with more detail, and it looked like it was like rubbery, and you could see the snap.
That's why it snaps. Yeah,
right. But it like up until this time, I felt like it was just like it didn't have that same rubbery feel. It just felt like it was like, okay, they're coming apart. But what is kind of cool is, having watched that scene so many times, they actually grab back on.
Yeah, they hold hands.
Holding hands, but they let go like almost like accidentally, but then find each other, these two stuntmen, and make the jump holding hands. Like you're like, it's like, how many takes did they do?
I think just the one by the looks of it, because there's no way they let that slide otherwise, is there? Unless it was just one. Okay, so the movie's great, and interestingly, because I have the DVDs back in the day, so I've seen the director's cut before, but I had forgotten until I rewatched this that it's, if you'd asked me last week before I had watched it, I would have said the school shooting, and that's it. In terms of anything meaningful. But no. There's actually quite a lot in this, and some really interesting little character beats for Riggs, I think, as well. I mean, the asking someone to go back with him just to watch TV, I think that's actually really meaningful, but then that also means you then see why he's on the street later in that part of town, because you now know why. So that adds some meaning to that,
or why they know him.
Yeah, well, indeed, yeah, absolutely. Right. So it actually is a more nuanced, or there is some more nuance to it than in the other one. And there's no question in my mind the director's cut is the one to see. It's great. So in terms of the audio video, the video I think is really, really nice. It's not revelatory. I don't think it's like night and day by any means, but I do think it is transformative to an extent. I mean, you've got the colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at the beginning, the way that the Christmas lights on the railings just pop with the extra sort of color gamut, but also the HDR as well. And they now have their own distinct kind of look to them, where they were all smudgy before, but they really pop. Look at the red of the fire engine just after Dixie's house explodes, and the red of the little kid's coat. I mean, it's so just leaps off the screen as well. Yeah. And there is a lot more detail with the facials. The film is 185, so there's lots of close-ups anyway, and all that is there. As I said, not revelatory. You're not going to confuse this with a new movie, but I think it's very, very good. And
it's the best it's ever looked. It's by
absolutely.
Far. It's like you were just saying, the vibrancy, the saturation, everything looks so good. Yeah, like you said, the Christmas lights But then the HDR, I think, and I'm going to talk about another movie in a little bit, but it's the gradation too, where you get the fine gradation of like when there's a haze in the room or something, or there's smoke in the room, or like at the end scenes when they're indoors, chained up or whatever. It's like there's detail there that it probably was there, but it wasn't to the same degree. And like I said, I got a great example later. But I thought it's the picture on this. It just Murtaugh's face when he was in the tub, the detail there, I'd never seen it look like that. And a lot like I said about Attenborough in Jurassic Park, and the detail in that, or in Riggs. Did you notice when at the school? At the shooting and like his eyes, it's like you could see that acting. Like he just like all of a sudden goes after. And when I watched the movie again, and I was like, here it comes, and you see it, and you're like, there he goes, and it's just so good.
The blue of the eyes as well really stands out in this more than before. The other thing I thought was quite good is the work they've done in seamlessly adding that footage in. It looks exactly the same as the rest of the movie, so they've done quite a bit of cleanup on that, because the DVD of it there was degradation in the picture quality when the director's cut footage came in, so that looks great. In terms of the audio, I would say much the same. I think it's the best it's ever sounded. It's not referenced by any means, and I think that there are times when it goes quite quiet, but the schoolyard stuff now interestingly, the school would have been a new remix because they never finished the audio stems properly previously. So that must be a new Atmos mix. And you can tell because the bullets are bouncing around, and at the front left upper sort of the stage, you could hear the ricochets going, which is quite cool. So I really like that. And there are times where when the water's on him, you can hear the water, the water coming down from overhead. It's a very 80s mix. And with all the good and the bad that comes with that.
But I would say on this one, the Atmos added with, like we were talking earlier, with the score and the music, and there's a lot of single instrument parts to this and it's all it felt like it was floating in front of me to the left at times, and then it's like like a guitar is just being played over here, just floating in the air. And it's like really giving you that 80s feel. But the music, I felt the score moved around the room in a way I hadn't heard before that I thought was really nice. Gunshots I thought were really good. Like you said, it's not referenced by any stretch, but again, best it's going to be. And I did think that the Atmos added to, spatialness of the room, making the stage that much wider, bigger.
I agree. Yeah, it's a really, really solid disc. For me, it's not as good as remaster as Dirty Harry, Pale Rider, or the Outlaw Josie Wales, which really did bring something new to it. But it's still very good. And Warners, if you're listening, let's have 2, 3, and 4, please. And also, we want the director's cuts of all of those because they do all have them. And in fact, the director's cut for 2 is as different as this one is to 1. So if you're listening, Warners, we'll have those, please. Get to work.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, because it's all gone quiet on the Dirty Harry front. We haven't heard any more about that, and I just thought, well, there's another box set coming, down the line, but there's not mention any of that. And if they haven't done it with that, then I suspect they're not going to do it with this, which is a humongous shame. But we could do our bit by buying this and then just hoping that they'll see fit to grace us with the presence of the others. But in the meantime, very, very good. Liked it a lot.
And if nothing else, it's like, even if it, not the home theater part of it, the director's cut and having it fully featured in 4K HDR Atmos, I just think that's worth buying right there. So, that's great. All right. Let's see. What do we got next? What do you got, John?
You should have a couple in there from 2 weeks ago. I didn't add anything this week.
Okay. Where would you be?
Let's see. I think the one bottom left there.
Bottom left, and then the top right.
Is this you, John?
That is me.
Oh, that is you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with that one then. Here we go. Oops.
All right. So this then would be Novocaine, which I watched on, let me try to remember, Paramount Plus, if I'm not mistaken. It was streaming, but it did stream in Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. This, of course, Jack Quaid, and is it Amber Mid-Thunder? Is that her name?
Mid-Thunder.
Mid-Thunder. Yeah, from Prey.
And
have either of you seen this?
No. I almost tried to watch it. Almost tried to watch it because I know Greg saw it and he loved it.
This was an absolute blast.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Steve. Okay. This was so much fun. I can't even tell you. I highly recommend checking out this movie.
Unfortunately, you're on a show where you're supposed to tell us.
Stupid. Dumb, is all get out, of course.
Yeah.
The premise. But I think the way they handled some of the aspects of his condition were pretty interesting. And I like some of the things they did. But this is just a straight up action movie. For those that are unaware, Jack Quaid plays character affectionately called Novocaine because he has a condition where he can't feel pain of any kind. And so that comes in really handy when you have to go rescue your kidnapped girlfriend and you have no fighting skills and no real way to accomplish this.
Yeah.
The only thing you really have going for you is that you can take a punch. But it is a lot of fun, guys. Stevie, I know you held it up, so I'm sure you'll get to it as soon as you can. And DJ,
I'm pretty sure I already have it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Oh, you have seen it. Okay,
seen it.
Do you disagree?
Not in the slightest.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because you had me worried there for a second. I was like,
see, I was like, right. So this is the film I mentioned earlier that surprised me.
Okay.
Okay. Because I bought this as a blind buy. I hadn't even seen the trailers to it. Yeah. I quite liked the poster, and which is that basically. Yeah. And it was a complete blind buy. I had no idea what to expect other than the bare outline of the story.
Right. Same. Yeah.
And when it began, I was thinking, oh, okay, this is The Boys. This is the trailer.
Yeah.
This is the pilot to The Boys, and okay. But then as soon as the action happens, and I'm not going to spoil it because there's a lot of people that haven't seen it, as soon as that starts, it's like the movie kind of casts off everything that's come before and absolutely comes alive.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fantastic. All kinds of fun, as you said, gory as hell. So obviously I'm going to like it.
Right.
But humorous in its gore, not ridiculous gore in terms of it, that it just doesn't make sense.
No. I mean,
within the condition that he's got.
Theoretically, it I guess was possible.
Right. Well, and at least you see the consequences of it at the end. You see, you know what I mean? They don't. It's not Tom and Jerry. And funnily enough, there are two directors of this, and apparently on IMDb they talk about how they actually did think very carefully about everything that happens to him. You could theoretically still operate as a result of, and so they tried to keep within reason, because it is a movie. Tried to keep it within the realms of it could theoretically happen. But oh no, it was endless fun, all kinds of silly fun in the right way. And he was fantastic in the role. Jack Quaid,
she was great. They both were
yes,
excellent.
They were. Yeah, and the bad guys were pretty good for who they were, I thought, as well. You wanted them slapped.
Exactly.
And I have to say, I mean, I don't want to spoil any, because I'd like people to go in and enjoy it as much as I did, but I have to say that the booby trap sequence I just thought was an absolute hoot.
Yes.
An absolute riot. So funny. And there are now, and the video and audio, I mean, just quick in terms of so this is on 4K disc and in Dolby Atmos.
Right.
And it looks beautiful. The 4K it's digitally shot. Everything is where it needs to be. But for me, the standout was the Atmos, because there are a couple of sequences in this, and I'm going to be as kind of obscure as I can, or oblique as I can be. There is one sequence where he breaks a mirror, or because he's thrown into one, but nevertheless a mirror breaks. And as it breaks and as he falls, it goes into slow motion. And listen out for the shards of glass tinkling in the overheads, and listen to them falling down the front of the screen. And so you can hear it all. It's like that Dolby Atmos demo disc where they throw a baseball through a window and you can hear the glass shattering. It's exactly like that. And you can hear it falling, which I thought was very, very cool, and a really fun little effect that if you haven't got Atmos speakers, you'd never even realize it had happened. And then there's another bit where a booby trap is sprung, and listen out for you don't see it first. You hear it, and you hear something fall and something stick. And then only after that, you realize what it is that's happened to him. At the same time, he realizes, because of course he doesn't feel any pain, so he doesn't realize what's occurred.
Right.
And and I put this back about 4 or 5 times because I thought, did I hear that? Sure enough, it zips from the overhead, comes down and round the room like that, and then squishes.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool little effect. And again, without Atmos, you never know that it was there. So, oh man. And again, cool guns, lots of kind of envelopment. It's a really fun film and a really fun home theater experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm glad to hear the disc, because I thought the stream was excellent. So I was pretty sure that the disc would be really good, because even like I said, I think I went about +4 on it, which I usually do if I'm streaming and I want to get like the full reference level. I usually go, because I listen at -6.5 usually, and I went right to 0 on this.
Okay.
And I thought the stream was great. Again, I thought the Atmos was excellent. A lot of good engagement all the way around, and so I would not expect anything different from the 4K disc. So, yeah,
it's awesome. Greg says, my favorite quote is, "That one hurt the most."
Yeah. Which I think that's in the trailer, so that's not given too much away.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is at a point where he is. You've got an actor in real life portraying someone who's a bad actor in fictionally and trying to pretend that something's happened to him when it's not. So deliberately badly acting, which is quite fun in and of itself. No, it's really good. One of this year's very pleasant surprises for me. Yeah. I was never bored during this. It took me a while to realize that was Amber Midthunder, though. She's changed physically a bit since.
She has. I caught the name in the credits, and that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have never even put it together. Because obviously she wasn't. She had a lot of war paint in Prey and didn't quite look the same.
But no, it's great. Deej, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're absolutely gonna love it. So, did you say you have got it, or you're?
Oh yeah. I looked it up, but I already own it.
Yeah.
On Kaleidoscape, same thing. 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, all that.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that if you're having a bad day, you're not, things are not going well. Put this on, and it was guaranteed to bring a smile to your face. Yeah. Guaranteed, because it's just so bonkers. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how much I stick to like reality in movies. That can't happen. Yeah. That's not me. That's
it's so unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I gotta do this one really quick. Let me see if I can line it up, if it's all lined up here. So let's go back again very quickly. We're gonna reintroduce for the third week in a row. I did my homework. So
you compared.
Yes. So I compared the 4K Blu-ray of Swordfish, 4K with did that have Dolby Vision? I forget.
Yes, I think so.
But it didn't have Atmos. Mm-hmm. So I compared it with the disc has 4K, possibly Dolby Vision, but the HDR is fantastic. But it has a new DTS master audio to the previous, and it's the same one that is on Kaleidoscape, the Dolby surround track. Okay, so it's not DTS master audio, it was the Dolby surround or whatever.
The Neural X versus Dolby surround.
Correct. So I did upconvert it to, actually did I do it? I'm pretty sure I did it with Neural X. I up both of them, anything with Neural X. Okay, so it was done with that. And so but I did the opening scene. All right, all the way until after, basically when the camera freezes after everything has happened with the, right when the what do you call it? The marble or whatever.
Bearings?
Ball bearing that rolls up on Hugh Jackman. Yeah. So anyways, so let's get to this. So audio wise, let's do audio second, because I'm going to be able to say everything I got out of the video. It's basically identical, more detail in both, but this is the image from the Dolby. Now I'm going to put this on full screen and hopefully you guys could see it even through there. So this is the I believe, let me see, I could tell right here. Yep. So this is the Kaleidoscape 1080p. It looks beautiful. It looked nice. You would be hard pressed if you're not A-Bing. I wanted to make a video and show how I A-B. And what it is, I use the Lumagen to switch back and forth, and it switches within like 7 seconds. So I can jump from scene to scene. But I grabbed this scene here because of the detail and everything. So this is the 4K with, I'm sorry, not the 4K. This is the 1080p off the Kaleidoscape. This is the 4K. You can already see and the camera on my phone is frozen. Okay, so I set the aperture, I set everything so that nothing changes, and I snap these pictures just by going back and forth. You can already see between the two, this is a little warmer, right? The tone has changed and stuff. This is the 4K version. But what you probably is hard to tell just on these pictures here is the detail that's missing between these two. And you would be hard pressed even if you were here and I said, which one's better? You'd be like, well, I kind of like the warmer one, but it's in the detail and in the eyes on this one in particular. Okay. So if you look here, that's the image. I'm not sure how you're seeing this on YouTube, But the image right in here, and I'll circle it, that's all that really shows there. You can barely see anything in the white of his eyes. This is the 4K version in the HDR. And you see how faint, can you guys make that out?
Yeah.
And you see like the white of his eye right here. It's even more detailed in person. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I did is, this is just a blow up of the actual picture that I took. I didn't get to the screen and take this close of a picture, but you can see more detail. You can see the wrinkles around his eyes here. Whereas in this one, everything is blacked out. Okay. So this is Rachel saying in the chat, the second one looks washed out. So I don't know how it's playing on YouTube or not, but this is the detail that you're getting with the 4K. And then, whoops, that's not the, where did the other image go? Hang on a second. Let me pull this down. There was where did the other image go that I had? I had another one of the hair that's up on the side. So, but anyways, I'll just put it back up. There we go. So the hair up on the side of his head has more detail in it as well in this same scene. So like if I were to I did take a picture of it. I forgot to load it in to the thing, but right here, you can see the detail in the hair. This one here, this is why I think the 4K, the HDR means so much. It's like this one here, you might be like, well, that's warmer. It's nicer, to like what Rachel's saying, like maybe this feels washed out, but this, as you're watching, it feels more natural. And this, like we said last week, Steve, it's like everything you're seeing, it's like it really plays to the hues and the tint that they put on each scene. It's not being, I don't want to say fiddled with, but it's not being ruined or anything by, I don't know what is doing this here, but this is feels more natural. You have more detail. And the other thing that you'll notice if you did do this comparison is this one here feels brighter. Okay. And the reason is, and this is the 1080p version. If you're listening to the audio only, you're probably going to want to go to the YouTube page or YouTube channel, but this feels brighter because the brightness in his forehead, or this particular scene here, it really pops off because of how dark the darks are. They're both the same. They both both images can achieve the same brightness and the same black level, but this one does it in a gradual way, so you get the more subtle tones. This one here, it feels like it's when you're watching the movie than this one, it feels like it's way more high contrast. You go from brightness to darkness really quickly, whereas in this version, it tapers off more gradual, like in real life. So
if you look at his left sleeve, if you look at the left sleeve of his suit jacket, you can see more info there as well. Because you've got, in the first image, you've got a sort of black crush. It's all kind of, there's just nothing there really, unless you look very, very closely. But with the other one, you can actually now see gradations and detail, and you can even see a little bit of frayed material on the on where the suit jacket joins. So there's definitely more info in that one.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point there. It's like I have the arrow on it right now, but you look right in here. It's like, look, there's no real gradation. I mean, you see very slight gradation there, but it's barely there. But it's super obvious here. Yeah. You can see everything, and that's HDR. That's the difference. It's like standard def. It's like it just it drops off a cliff. That the black levels will drop off a cliff compared to the fine gradation that you get with HD, the high dynamic range. Because it's high dynamic range doesn't mean anything's going to be brighter, because whatever display you're using can only go so bright, and black can only be so low. Black is 0, absence of color. So that isn't changing, but the steps in between is what HDR is accomplishing for you. And that's why you get that fine detail, like I said, with the looking into the eyes like that. So but now going back to, like I said before, it's going back to the audio, that basically it's the same thing. You're feeling like the audio has that much more detail in it. If I played it for you and you just watch the scene and you flip to another scene, they both sound fantastic. Everything that we said that we heard, like you didn't think you heard them screaming in the background as it pans, it's all there. It's just not as loud. It's not as pronounced. The helicopter flying over when they first walk in, you can hear it pan, and it's, if you've never heard anything else and you're watching the 1080p with the Dolby track, you're like, that was awesome. But then you listen to it in DTS, the new master audio, and you're like, it's that much more detailed. It is awesome. I think most people coming into your room, they wouldn't even know the difference between the two. But there is a difference, and it is an upgrade, and the detail is there. But it's like, to say, like, it's weird when you hear sounds like that and then you come at it and go, wow, it's like, I've never heard that before. Then you go to the other track and go, no, it's there. It just wasn't as pronounced. So it didn't really bring much to the scene for you. So that's what I find that time and again when I do these ABs. It's like, whenever you're like, I've never heard that before. And you go back to the previous and go, yep, it's there. It's like, I wish it wasn't, but it's there.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, just not as pronounced and not as well placed in the mix.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there we
exactly.
Go.
So
we've got 3 weeks out of Swordfish.
Yeah. So John, next week, your turn.
Yeah.
I saw Swordfish.
I did my homework. Yeah. I did my homework. So, all right. What do we want to do next? What do you guys want next? Let's see. Steve, you're up.
Okay. Take your pick. There is one that's been there a while. That one's this week. Do you want to do one that's with Mr. Jackie Chan?
Okay.
That one's been there. That one.
There we go.
But it'd be nice to just tick this off the list. All right. Cool.
There we go.
All right. Early May.
I almost highlighted myself.
I've realized that now when I put them up, the date's on the top, so I now know how long it's been. Right. Anyway, so this is the Blu-ray, 1080p Blu-ray, DTS HD Master Audio version of Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan's The Foreigner. Now, guys, this has been on Netflix forever. So have either of you seen this?
No.
I think I have. But
no.
Yeah,
it's one of those you might have seen about it, so I can see if I remember.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, okay. No, I hadn't either. No, I was dimly aware that he had done a movie in London, and that Pierce Brosnan was in it, and I was even dimly aware that it was on Netflix. And Jordan reminded me of it when the disc came out. And my first thought was, when Jordan and I had this conversation via DM, because Jordan's like, it's coming out, now's the chance to own it. And I remember saying to him, yeah, but it's been on Netflix forever, and I haven't watched it when it's been on Netflix, so I'm obviously not that bothered about it. And yet I found myself wandering, as I am wont to do, into HMV, and along with all the other movies that came out that week, I thought, you know what, it's a Blu-ray, it's like £15. I'll pick this up, because it's directed by Martin Campbell, who not only is he a Kiwi, but he is also the director of GoldenEye. He's the director of Casino Royale, the director of The Mask of Zorro, and he's also a Kiwi. So I thought, right, well, it's got to be good then.
Is he a Kiwi?
He is a Kiwi.
I heard he's a Kiwi. Okay.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi. He is a Kiwi, definitely. In case I didn't mention it, he is a Kiwi. So anyway, so film
not
is this.
From Spain.
No, he's not from Spain. No, he's not, which is unfortunate. We can't all be perfect. But anyway. So the story is as follows, right? I mean, stop me when you've heard this one. All right. So the story is Jackie
John,
Chan.
he thinks we can stop him.
Yeah, well, sorry.
That's cute.
Try to stop me when you've heard this one, fellas. So Jackie Chan is living in London. And he's getting on a bit. He is playing his real age, as it were, more or less. He's getting on a bit, but he's got a kind of a late teen daughter, who unfortunately becomes the victim of a terrorist bombing. So daughter dies. Jackie Chan is bereft. And it turns out that, slightly oddly, that bearing in mind it's contemporarily set, it turns out that it's the work of a rogue IRA faction. But there it is. And so Jackie Chan decides he's going to track down these evil ne'er-do-wells And we've got Pierce Brosnan, who is the sort of Irish First Minister, who looks for all the world like Jerry Adams, but no one's saying that, but he does, and he sounds like him. And so there then becomes this collision course. We've got Jackie Chan on the trail of these terrorists who have killed his daughter, and you've then got Pierce Brosnan, who sort of knows something about it but isn't really telling everyone, and it kind of how it all unravels from there. So the week I watched this, by the way, was the same week I watched The Working Man. So, and it's similar. Aging action star, goes on search for daughter, or goes for revenge. So it was interesting that it would be pretty much the same film. Now, it actually is quite enjoyable. It's better than A Working Man. For that, there's no doubt. No cliche is left uncliched. Okay. Of that,
I hate when they leave them uncliched.
Well, that's the point. What is the point of a cliche if you can't cliche it?
Right. Yeah,
so no uncliched, or no cliche is uncliched. It's all there. You would, if I said to you 2 minutes in, write me the rest of this story, you'd both be able to do it, okay, without any problem at all, with a very high degree of accuracy. But it is enjoyable, and these sorts of movies live or die, I think, on this, their actor, their lead actor and the bad guy and all the rest of it. And it is enjoyable enough, and it's well staged. Again, Martin Campbell knows how to make an action movie, and he's bringing not quite his A game. I think he's getting on a bit, but certainly he's bringing his B+ game to the action scenes in this, and it is quite good. Now, in terms of its audio and video, the video, it's so again 1080p, so there's only so much you can do with it. However, what I do like about this is we've just talked Swordfish, where I don't think there's a shot in that movie that is not filtered heavily through something.
Right.
This is the opposite. This has been shot like it's been shot on your local, outside your front door. There's no attempt here at Dutch camera angles. There's no attempt at heavy filters or anything like that. It's been shot to try and make it look quite realistic. And I actually like how that looks. It looks really nice. So you get a lot of detail. It's all sort of shot in and around London. So you get all the detail on the cars and on the buildings and everything else. And I like the colors. It looks natural, which I think is deliberate. And that's quite nice. So it does look good. The sound is a little bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of explosions in this, as one might imagine, bearing in mind the subject matter. And there were a few that to me felt bass light. Felt very kind of just, they looked all right, but didn't.
What was it mixed in?
DTS HD 5.1 master audio. So obviously not mixed in Neural X. But there were a couple of times where the bass just felt lacking. And yet then there are other times where there are explosions that did kind of reach into the room and did have some heft to them. So that was a little bit weird and a bit.
Kaleidoscape has it in 7.1.
Okay. Oh, right.
DTS Master Audio 7.1.
Yeah. No. Interesting. Well, there you go. Such a show.
Yeah. It's just rare. I haven't seen that. It's like usually
yeah. So it does sound okay. And again, it's good. It's not great. And again, you're not going to be demoing this for anybody. No one, even the most diehard Jackie Chan fan, you're not going to say, right, check this out. It's not that kind of film. So it's a very solid B movie. It's a solid presentation. It's on Blu-ray, so it's relatively cheap, and I think it is still on Netflix. So if you're curious about that, see it for free first, and then buy it. I say for free, your subscription fee, and then and if you like it, then pick it up. But I thought it was good. It's enjoyable enough, is what I would say. Not a bad way to pass 90 minutes or so. So I thought it was cool. What are they saying in the chat, by the way? I'm just seeing. What have we got in the chat?
Sounds like the movie he saw, like he's seen it.
I mean, that's damning with faint praise, isn't it? I think I saw this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you described it, I'm still not sure whether I saw it or not. It sounds vaguely familiar, but
that could be because it's like every other movie like it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is it. And Paul, you're right. There is a not a long shorty scene in the woods. There is a long shooty scene in the woods. Yes. Around a stately home. So there is that. And Jordan says, I mean, it was Jordan that gave me the nudge to buy it. So he said, happy to finally have the UK Blu-ray of The Foreigner in my Chan collection. So, and then he said, I know quite a few JC fans who appreciate the gritty tone. Yeah, this does not have comedy in it. This is one of the things that is notable. This is not a Jackie Chan. He's not using a shopping cart to hit someone in this one.
Right.
There's none of that. This is him actually, for him anyway, an ultra gritty revenge movie for him. Not for most people, but for him. So yeah, I think it's worth seeing, guys. Again, John, if you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix and let me know what you think.
I'm gonna look for it. I'll watch.
You'll probably get 10 minutes in and be like, I have seen this.
Yeah, but I'll watch it anyways.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that's worth seeing. And Deej, I mean, don't I wouldn't say buy it on Kaleidoscape.
It's on Kaleidoscape for $15, $14.99.
Yeah. Well, so if you're tempted, then I suppose that's not too bad, is it? But if not, then again, Netflix it. Right. One day when you've got nothing else, and see what you think. Although when that will be, I can't imagine. But still.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
All right. Cool. All right. Good. That's
cool.
that one done.
That's good. John, which one of these is this you?
That's me.
That's that's your TV. That's your screen. All right, here we go. And away we go.
All right. So this then is Presence, which I had never heard of this movie, but 2 weeks ago, when I was last on the show, Steve, I think you were talking about Black Bag.
Yes.
And that was made by the same team that made this. And lots of people in the chat were referencing this movie and how much they enjoyed it and how great of a movie it was. And so I went looking for it. I found this on Hulu in 4K Ultra HD 5.1. I did try the VPN trick to see if I could catch this on Disney Plus over in the UK, and it is sadly not available. And I don't know that it's streaming at all in the UK currently. So I did go back and I watched this on Hulu. So as I said, kind of chat recommended, and it's the kind of movie I generally enjoy. So I figured, what the hell? This is where I lose some fans, I think, because this was, without a doubt, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I do not know.
Worse than Malignant?
I do not know where the praise for this movie came from. Steve, have you seen this? This is a movie that you
I'm not gonna now.
Would gravitate towards based on the subject matter. So for those that don't know, this is kind of haunted house story. Family moves into haunted house, realizes house is haunted, inexplicably does not move out. They continue to stay in the home and coexist with a presence.
It's just a little bit of mold. I can fix that. We can remedy that.
Guys, this movie was so dull. Like, I don't know what was going on. I wanted to rip my hair out of my scalp. I'm sorry, chat. I don't remember who it was that recommended this.
Well, they're probably not around anymore.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens in this movie. I don't know. Lucy Liu plays the mom, and she is literally one of the most unlikable characters I've ever seen on film. She is, and again, nothing against Lucy Liu. I like her a lot, and she's obviously playing the part that was written for her to play. But this mom is the most unlikable mom you've ever seen. There's plot lines in this that are repeatedly brought up that go absolutely no place. I do not recommend it. I really don't. Now, the cool stuff, because there is something that's super cool about this movie, which I've never seen. This movie is told entirely from the point of view of the presence, which is very cool. I don't think I've ever seen that for an entire 90-minute movie. The camera follows the presence from room to room, who follows the characters around, and that creates some pretty cool audio sequences, because you'll have a conversation happening in the room, and then all of a sudden the presence will leave the room and the conversation will continue, but now it's in your right surround speaker instead of front and center. And there are some things like that which are very cool. Again, it's a ghost, but somehow I guess it goes to sleep from time to time because the screen will just go black for like 30 seconds. And then it's the next day. Like, I don't know what was happening. Like, I really just don't know.
John's like, if you're going to follow a character, don't have the character fall asleep.
Exactly. Like, it just, I don't know if it goes to another plane of like, it just blacks out for like,
ghosty nap time.
It's probably seconds, but it feels like forever.
John was still eavesdropping on the conversation over on the right rear channel.
Something good.
But I don't know where it goes.
What you go to sleep for?
I don't know if it goes to sleep. I don't know if it leaves if it can leave the house. I don't know why it stays there. So I don't think it's leaving the house. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. Some very cool audio moments, which I think on 4K disc with Atmos would be super cool. I don't know if it'll get a physical. Jordan saying now that he doesn't think it's going to get a physical release.
Not after this review.
But again, there are some cool audio sequences that I think would be great on physical media with the proper Atmos mix. And again, looking at the chat, obviously the response is mixed. I think it's sitting at around a 6 on IMDb, which to me is generous, but it's obviously got some divisive opinions, but I fall on the low end of that spectrum. So it's free on Hulu in the US, so check it out if you want to form your own opinion.
Don't get Hulu to see it.
Don't get Hulu to see it, and I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
Anyway, that's
good.
That's my take.
No, that was good. Though.
Do you want to be even angrier?
Sure.
Okay.
It is the bright side after all.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Let me just make sure.
Is there a sequel?
Right. So so at the moment on IMDb, it is set at 77. Okay, that's the critic score, 77. Novocaine is 58.
Oh yeah, see, that's false.
Yeah.
So we'll call him BS on that. But yeah, so that just shows you, doesn't it? But yeah, no, okay. Well, I'm happy to skip that one then.
I would say
house isn't a big thing for me. I always think they're a bit hokey, and I think to do it the way they've done it in this seems to be the only way to try and give it something new.
Right, which again was new, and I thought, and again did sort of by the 90th minute, it was like, okay, this has run its course. Because it was cool for a bit, but then, it did its thing and maybe could have switched back to third person or whatever it would be. But,
I want to, looking at the description of it there, I want to know what the family's most intimate, uncomfortable moments are. I'm curious. What are we thinking?
Well, there's some intimate relations that take place between characters.
I see. Oh, fine.
That are observed.
And apparently, that's what angered John because
they're observed by the presence, which then when you get to the end and all is revealed, it kind of becomes a Luke and Leia.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Oh, right, that is uncomfortable.
Yeah,
boy.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Alrighty then.
But again, as I said, there's major tension between the mom and the dad. Like they keep going on about these legal troubles. Like there's something major going on with these two, and then it goes no place. Like it never is explained. It's brought up 2 or 3 times in the film, and then just dropped like a hot potato. And you're like, what was that all about? Like I don't even know.
Wording of a purchase of a house contract.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
I'm just wondering.
Purchase and sales agreement. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Here we go.
Back to the mold again.
Yeah, there we go.
I like how Greg still gets our in jokes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So there we go.
Anyway, sorry. I hope I didn't lose any fans, but not for me.
Oh man, no, fair play.
It's all right. No, I mean I'm intrigued by the sound though.
It's my Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, clearly.
Well, yeah, but one of us has to love it. The other has to hate it to have that,
Yeah.
True.
Yep. All right. Let's see. What do I want to do? I teased this one. I'll skip this one for next week, I guess, because we're running short. Let me do these two. I'll do these two really quick, and then we'll get to the ones that one we talked about, because I have one more to go with it. So let's do this real quick. All right. Yeah. Thunderbolts dropped today.
I see it up in your corner. Sinners dropped today too, but
yep,
I see it in the corner there.
So yeah, Thunderbolts dropped today, and so did, as you see right below, Ballerina. So I was able to take both of these in today for the most part. So let me first off, we'll start with
not this week.
I'm putting these two together right now just for time's sake. They both deserve their own time. But Thunderbolts, if you've seen it in theater, you know the story. Home theater version of this is fantastic. Detail looks great. HDR looks great. The audio, very, very good. Very good. Their bass is there. The detail is there. The battle scene at the end, the absence of sound, which is huge in this movie because of the absence of certain things. It's like the opening scene from this. So, they do the Marvel, the Marvel logo.
Mm-hmm.
It looked 3D. It's the best I've ever seen it. It looked like 3D, like you were flying through the logo. And then what it does to coincide with the movie, how it changes. I won't give it away if you haven't seen it, but the Marvel logo changes. Then they go to the opening scene, which people have probably seen on social media, where that scene there where she's talking, Elena's talking, and then you do have the absence of sound, and then the nice opening sounds fantastic. Very, very well done. It's actually, I wouldn't say this is up for, home theater experience of the year at all. It is very, very, it's just how good the stuff has been so far. Warfare, so good. It's just this here to me. It is a lot of fun, and makes you want to watch it again. Makes me want to watch it again. I saw it twice in the theaters. Now seeing it here, it's the detail that you see in both, the picture and then here in the audio. So much better. Great pans, everything like that. Fantastic. Then moving over to Ballerina from the John Wick world, same thing. The picture, the saturation, the colors in this, there's a lot of night scenes. So well done, so well shot, so much detail. And the gunfire in this, just take your John Wick movie, and this is what it is. They did not short this at all. John, you've seen this, right?
I did, yeah. And that's what I said Sinners earlier. Right? Sinners came out like last week. This is the other one that came out.
Right.
Yeah, I saw this in the theater like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, no, maybe it's been 3. It wasn't that long.
Have you seen it, Steve?
No, I haven't. I want to, and I'll get it when it comes out.
I thought Ballerina was great.
It's fantastic. Steve, there is shotgun fire. You will be very entertained by it. It is just like any John Wick. I'm not giving anything away. The gunfire is very, very accurate, very pronounced, maybe over accurate, if you know what I mean, like a boom. But there is a shootout, right, John, at the end. Let's call it a shootout at the end that you have never seen. And the atmos in this shootout is fantastic. It makes the movie. You're going to get to this at the end, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. They're fighting each other with equal weapons, the same weapon, and the armaments, or the I don't know what you call the rounds. Let's call it rounds, John. I don't know what you want to call it, because I don't want to give it away. But it goes up and over your head. You can hear it just flourish behind you, right, John? It is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, again, I saw this in theater, so I only can imagine some of it because I don't have an Atmos theater, but I predicted that it would be.
Not only that, when it makes it seem, I would liken it to a fantastic like lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you see a great lightsaber battle, that's the way it's staged, the choreographed, the way things move on the screen. That's what this is like. And it is like, it's called Ballerina in this final, it's not the final, but you'll know the shootout I'm talking about. It does go like a dance in a way. Yeah. It is really good, but the audio in it is absolutely fantastic for that particular. I mean, the entire movie is like that. This one is, I would say, audio-wise, a notch above Thunderbolts. But Thunderbolts is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for more people to see it, and we could talk about it. But yes, Ballerina is great movie. I love the story. I love what they're doing with John Wick franchise, how they can do this. But as a home theater experience, the 4K Atmos, 4K and the Atmos, the HDR, absolutely fantastic. So I wish I had more time to tell you more about it, but you won't be disappointed in picking up either of these.
I'm just worried that it may end up being one and done because it deserved so much more theatrically than what it got. Unless it makes just an absolute fortune in video on demand, I don't know that they'll take this story further.
Yeah.
But, obviously you could tell by the ending. I mean, this was designed to be, its own franchise within a franchise. So
yeah.
I hope that we get more, but I'm not optimistic because, like I said, it did pretty poorly theatrically. So,
well, I will happily support it when it hits disc. Of that, there's no doubt.
Yes. Nice. All right. Whoop, wrong button. All right. We'll wrap those two up. And do you want to hit on where do we have an image for it?
Which one?
The one in theaters.
The one. Oh, do you know
the
what?
one?
I'm not sure if we do. We had the one. We had the trailer one a couple of weeks ago.
I took the picture from the theater. Let's just do that. You ready to get to that?
Yes, I forgot to do it. Yeah, of course.
All right. This is the one everybody's been talking about. Look at that image. That tell you? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
F1. F1 in theaters now.
F who?
F you.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Charming.
F1, F you.
F1. Yeah. F1 in theaters now. This actually I love trying to get these pictures in the theater with my phone. Everybody's like, what are you doing? But I took this in Thursday, 3:00 Thursday afternoon. I finished up work early. I was lucky enough to finish up early, and I'm like, oh, it's playing at 3, and there was they had open seats right in the middle. Grabbed a great seat, and almost didn't make it because a car was on fire on the highway.
Oh, jeez.
Was it your car?
No. Okay. Yeah, I just left it and ran to the theater.
Needs must.
I gotta go. I was like, now I'm not gonna. Literally, just shut the highway down, and I was sitting there, like you could see the black smoke going all the way up to it, and I'm like, so that means black smoke is like they haven't put this thing out yet. And the rescue crews weren't there yet, so I'm like, come on, traffic's just weak. And then I'm like 200 yards away from it, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, that's when they shut the highway down. I'm like, oh, I still made it with 5 minutes to spare. So, but yes, to the movie. What did you think, Steve?
Well, I had one of the worst behaved audiences that I have had in quite some time. Not because of talking, but I had, for some reason, half an hour of trailers and program and ads and crap before. But no, as soon as the movie begins, about 30 people walk in, go up and down the aisles with their torches on, trying to find their seats whilst the movie's playing. To the point where 2 people stood next to me. One was going, I think we're in level D. I don't know if it's level D. And I said to them, this is level D. Get in here. Not happy. Anyway, they moved. So 2 people walked out as well during the movie.
Wow.
But they had been on their phones throughout, so I figured you didn't know what they were seeing. But anyway, the movie. So, notwithstanding all of that, which irritated me no end, so the movie had to work hard to get me on side. I loved it. I thought it was really, really, really good. I didn't see it in a high-end theater. It was a decent one. Again, it's this leather reclining chairs. It's got Dolby Atmos. The screen's all right, but it's not IMAX. But I still I enjoyed it a lot. It did everything I wanted it to do. It was thoroughly enjoyable movie. It is Maverick on wheels. I think that's very clear. And it just reinforces just what an absolute megastar Brad Pitt is. I mean, you could watch the guy do anything. And I think without him, we talk about music and movie, but how about movie star? You put someone else in there that isn't, say, Tom Cruise, and then I think actually the film suffers in comparison. The camera just loves him.
Right.
And you can watch him do anything. And I think this is his film. Although I would say, I don't know if you thought this, Deej, he's becoming John Wayne. There is a scene in this, the poker scene. I mean, that's not really giving anything away, where he sort of led back in his chair like that. Yep. And to me, looked and sounded like John Wayne. I thought, my God, that's what he's turning into. That is who he is becoming. And I'm sure it's deliberate. So anyway, thought it was great. I still don't think these are the best racing sequences ever committed to film, though. I still think that's Super Speedway for me. At least in the theater that I saw it in. The sequences didn't have the violence, the sheer kind of the mechanical fury that Super Speedway has. When that car comes up behind you, you can feel the violence in this engine, this combustion engine, and I didn't get that during this.
I think that was your theater because I saw it in. Let me see if I can. Let me pull this down just for a second here and see if I can put it. So here's So. Let's see. All right, we'll pull that back up, and then we'll do this. And then there we go. Add the stage. So that's my screen, but it's like this is X Plus, Laser by Barco, and the Dolby. Oops, and it had Atmos.
Dolby Lethal Weapon.
Dolby Lethal Weapon, but it had it all, and I could hear all of I could sense what they're trying to do and what is going to be enhanced at home. The car coming up on the side of you in this theater, I could get that. And I was like, this is going to be fantastic at home. Oh yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if when we're at home and stuff comes up from behind and you're like, woo, like the revving of the engines, it was fantastic. It was absolutely, I was like, I cannot wait to get this at home because if I'm even sensing it here, what is it going to be like in our intimate environments that are just going to really play to this, to being in the car?
Then, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're exciting. I mean, there was a moment in this that I held my breath, like literally when something happened. We're not going to spoil it. Literally,
absolutely. And the absence of sound.
Well, exactly. But I never felt the violence and the fury that I felt from Super Speedway. And also, funny enough, also in that film where the car comes right across when the two are on the track, to me that felt more real than anything in this, I think. But that's not to mean it wasn't great, because it was.
Right.
So no, I thought it looked great, sounded great, really enjoyed it, and bring on the home version. Let's just pray we get a disc, or some sort of physical-ish version rather than just a stream. But I fear streams where it's going to be, because the adverts of this are all over Apple TV Plus. And I've not heard any whispers from anybody about a physical disc on this. And it's not like Apple need the money. So I wonder whether they might do an Amazon and keep it, for their streaming service, because they do need a few winners. Because their Apple TV Plus service has not been doing terribly well of late. So I fear that's where it's going to be.
It may go there at first, and then eventually once it's, saturated that market, they'll then put it out. I can't imagine, because you said they need the money, or they want money. And it's like, how many people, like a year from now, are going to be like, oh yeah, I'll get Apple TV Plus now just for F1 that's a year old. I think eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later, but I think we would eventually get it, because this thing's made for the home theater environment.
Well, I hope so. I mean, like I said, I fear it's not, because again, there are other even high profile flops they haven't released them on disc. Napoleon's not seen a physical release. Killers of the Flower Moon's like available, I think, in Germany, and that's about it. You know, there have been some big movies they've spent a lot of money on and then just left it on Apple TV Plus. So I've got a feeling
they could end up using it to introduce something new in the fall, something new with Apple TV, because the new Apple TV comes out in the fall.
Well, and they're talking about audio pass-through on iOS TV 26 or something like that. This would be perfect for that. And then if that works the way it should work, do we need a physical release? You know,
right? Well, because then we're going to want to compare it, right? But then, but like Steve was saying, they wouldn't release it so you can't compare it, right? Because they don't want you to be able to do that. But if it's that good, you should do it so that we can compare it, and then you'd be like, I don't need physical anymore. I can just go to Apple TV, you know? And it's like, and now how do we compare that to Kaleidoscape and physical? And it's like, that stuff, that's our like wheelhouse. We're going to love all that. If they can do the audio, because they are talking about that's why I mentioned the Apple TV coming out with the updates. And it's like, I just feel like this is when they release the haptic for the trailer, it's like, I feel like they're just gearing this towards, no pun intended, but they're gearing this towards something that's going to be, it's more than just the movie, right? We're going to use this movie to introduce something else that for us at home, I mean, I don't think we are going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be fun and it's going to add to everything, you know?
Yeah. So. Well, fingers crossed. I mean, I really do hope I'm wrong. I hope they do launch it on disc, and this could be a bright new, revenue stream for Apple. But the way, I can't turn on Apple TV Plus at the moment without seeing trailers for this. Right. And it's like, I don't know, knowing Apple as they do, they like their monopolies. They like their closed markets. And I've got a feeling they're going to be like, well, look at all those Apple Plus subscriptions we're selling. Yay. Yeah. And less about what do you mean a physical disc? What's that? Because they're not into discs at all, are they?
No.
So, they're all about digital. So I don't know, but we can but hope. Yep. But I'm sure it'll still be good even with a stream, just not as good as it would have been. But I did enjoy it. It's certainly one of the best movies of the year. Yeah. Brad Pitt's great in it.
Oh, it's great.
And it's very cool.
I got one quick one to wrap up with that. Had to do it.
Yeah.
Came home, put on Days of Thunder. Unbelievable. After seeing this is why I want F1 at home, because I want to compare the two, because the motors are completely different. Hearing those V8s in Days of Thunder, what a difference. And the Days of Thunder soundtrack for this, I think it's only DTS Master Audio on Kaleidoscape. It's a 4K, not Dolby Vision, just 4K HDR, and it sounds fantastic. We've talked about it before, but after seeing F1, you come home and put this on, and just the opening scene where you're hearing the cars and the rev of those V8, it's like so much deeper and throatier than the ling of the F1 cars of like a Ferrari or something like that, and it's such a difference. But have some fun. If you've seen F1, put on Days of Thunder. The entrances are identical when they show up. The only thing Brad Pitt's not on is a motorcycle, right? But it's the same scene. It's ridiculous. It's like all of the scene. It's like the same thing. And by the end of this, it made me wonder, are these two going to come up? Is there going to be another movie where these two old guys, one comes from NASCAR, one comes from F1, and they have a driving school? I mean, Brad Pitt.
Mirror signal maneuver.
Brad Pitt,
they were
Tom
seen together
Cruise.
Recently. So,
I mean, the two of them, Brad's so famous, they named a whole entire row after him in F1. And Tom's so famous, it's like, that's it. You just want to sit back in your car and relax. You hit a little button. What button do you hit? Cruise control. There you go. So they're both meant to be in car movies. But yeah, you want to talk about like this, F1 being Days of Thunder. And it's like, I saw the I think Tom Cruise put out it's the 35th anniversary, and it was like, what was it, of this, and at the same time that F1 came out and all that. So it's like, I mean, they're identical, not identical movies, but pretty close. It's so much fun. So do yourself a favor and run and see both.
I've got the 4K disc of it. I have watched it a while back, but I have got it.
It's so fun, so much fun. But it's great home theater experience. Very loud, very fun, very. What I did notice is maybe the racing scenes are a little aged because they show them like sped up, right? They accelerated the speed of the video instead of the cars itself, especially when he's doing his test run. I was like, oh wow, I didn't remember that, but lots of fun.
Yeah. And also there's the Top Gun style kind of put him in the car and then just shake the background, and then that's what they did with the original Top Gun. They put him on a gimbal and then just shake it.
Just shake everything.
There's a bit of that as well because I mean, like, they didn't have the cameras to mount like they can now. But it's good. It's not one of my favorites, but it is a good film.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's fun, and it's like after seeing F1, I was like, what else? I mean, I had to do it. I was like, this, and it was. It was
Rush
so
again.
Yeah. But
did it feel weird? Did it feel weird hearing Brad Pitt talk about racing with Senna? Just thinking he's not that old, and then you think, oh, actually, no, maybe he is. Yeah, you just thinking because I think of Senna is way back when, and so but then Brad Pitt would have been age appropriate to have done that. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, okay,
well, 80s, no, 80s and
Senna. When did he pass? Oh God, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I suppose it would have been. Yeah, I mean, with Prost and Mansell and all that lot, and Mario Andretti and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the heyday for me back growing up. But yeah, so funny, and that's how old Brad Pitt is. It's like, I mean,
he just doesn't look it.
No, that's funny. Such a good movie, such a fun movie. And you're right, like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, he's turning into the strong silent type, but I think that's the role that he was trying to play in that. Like, I'm just going to lead by example and be quiet, and then that's in the role in the movie. So, and that's basically what he did. He didn't tell the kid what to do, he just did stuff, and then the kid ended up watching and imitating. Really good, really well done. A lot of fun.
I look forward to seeing it again. I won't go back to the cinema and see it again, but I will look forward to seeing it as soon as it drops at home. I mean, like this might be one a bit like Dial of Density and Maverick, that as soon as it drops digitally, I might just spring for it anyway, even if it's only available on Apple. And I might just buy that anyway, just so I can see it again. And I know there's others that really want to see it that couldn't make it to the theater. So
I hope it doesn't take forever.
Well, at the moment they're making all the money. So they're going to absolutely run that probably until Fantastic Four, I suppose. So it'll be in for another 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah,
and then it'll be, it'll go once.
Well, I don't think Jurassic Superman's probably going to dethrone it big time.
Yeah, this week, right?
Jurassic Park. I don't think that'll dethrone it.
No, not with the reviews.
Well, actually, the reviews I've seen have been positive. So
no, the ones
really?
I've seen are second
really?
best. Oh, sorry, second worst of the sequels, sort of thing. So but I'm going to see that. I'm going to try and see that this weekend if I can.
I'm going to try to see it as well.
Spot for those movies. But I think actually Superman was the next one. That's what next week.
That's next week.
Week after.
Yeah,
11th
comes out on the 11th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they didn't bring that forward for the 4th of July weekend. How did they not do that? You'd have thought someone would have been like, look, it's been finished for a while.
Right.
Why not launch it in the biggest weekend of the year?
Yeah.
Just
because of the other movies. Because it's I don't know. Well, I did have one I could talk about very quickly just very quickly that I did on the glasses. And we talked about it last week. Let me see. Let me pull up the image here.
Oh, Thunderbirds?
Nope. No, I did do that. But no, this one here. Yep. Oops. Nope. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, there's an 80s poster for you.
Yep. So Iron Eagle, I did on the glasses. It is on Amazon. It's on Amazon, and you can rent it or buy it. I already own it. That's where we watch it. It's in HD, 5.1. At home, it's super grainy, but on the glasses, it looked really nice. I mean, still grainy, cheesy as all get out. It's awful. So like, even like you think they made this at the same time. And I went into because of our conversation last week, this came out in January of the same year, and they came out because it didn't want to go head to head with Top Gun. So it was dropped in January of the same year. And also, if you read down in the IMDb like trivia stuff, one of the pilots, the pilot that I think flew the Snake, he died doing the flat spin stunt in Maverick and Top Gun.
Oh,
same
right.
pilot, stunt pilot for the movies. Did this one, did Iron Eagle, and died filming Top Gun. So it's like, yeah, they both came out at the same time. The other thing was, this was Air Force. Obviously, Top Gun is Navy. Air Force was going to get behind this until they saw the script and how the kids take over the base. And they're like, yeah, we can't be a part of that.
Yeah, we're not going to agree to that.
We don't want to be a part of like, hey, yeah, you're easy to hack. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun in the glasses. It still had, the spatial audio was pretty good. It was still pretty good with this. So,
yeah, yep. I was watching a bit of Ironheart this morning. I had a long walk from where I parked to the office, and I put on the little corner screen and then had the transparency on, and that works quite well. I was able to catch up with Ironheart with the headphones in and not walking into anything, and yet still have this thing running quite happily in the corner. That's
I haven't been able to catch that at home. I watched like the first half of the first episode in the glasses once, and I have that looks really good. Looked good in the glasses and stuff and everything. I just haven't been able to keep up with it. So, but more.
Well, the next 3 drop tomorrow, don't they? And then that's it. And that's the whole series.
Yeah, it's only 6.
Yeah. So you blast
6,
through it.
And it's 2 weeks and done. So weird.
3 and 3.
Well, they obviously believe very highly in it.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
There we go. Anyway.
All
so
right.
There we go.
That's it. All right.
Yep.
That was a lot. And I left stuff. I've left stuff on the table. I still have stuff I haven't gotten to. Look at me.
Me too.
Yeah. But all right.
Lots more for next week as well. Lots more.
Yeah. More and more. All right. That'll do it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Everybody listening at home on the audio only. Check out the YouTube for all the little graphics that we dropped this week. But rate, review, subscribe, push that subscribe, whatever, all that fun stuff. Thank you to the patrons. Be a patron. All you got to do, go to patreon.com/Brightside Home Theater. $1. That's all it takes. $1 a month, $12 a year. That's it. And we could be doing, if everybody did that, we could be doing this full time. All right. That was our spiel. Is that good, John?
Yeah. I'm still waiting.
You're still waiting. Exactly. All right. We're out of here. We'll see everybody next week. Until then, you know what you got to do.
Go push play.
What he said.
Hey, Fred. This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.